girl. Hey.
Hello.
How's it going, Maim? How's it going?
Things are okay today. It's okay. It's 100 degrees outside, but
It
I'm
is 100
inside.
degrees.
So
It's 100 degrees here too. Girl, let me
yeah.
just tell
So
you what I found that I've been doing that I bought that was worth it on Amazon for $30.
yes.
Paper blackout shades. I bought
Oh,
I bought some cheap paper stick up blackout shades for my windows.
interesting.
Like they are not the most attractive things in the world. They are 6 to a box for $30. You cut them down yourself, you put them in your window, and it helps with the like everything. Like it keeps the with as long as you get them to stick, it's great.
Yeah.
If
Interesting.
you want me to send you the link to that, I will.
I think I found them. Like it came right up, $30. I
Yep.
think it's the one you're talking about.
Yep. You just have to measure to make sure they're the right size, and then you just take a kitchen knife, cut them in half, or cut them down and throw them up.
Oh, nice.
But like they don't. I don't know if your husband will like the way they look.
Well, I mean, I just might put them in my office. You know?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, they're great in there.
I'm in this room more than anywhere else in the house between like work and sewing.
So, Maim, I want to give you a recommendation. I've been meaning to do this, and I'm going to give you a recommendation. And dear listeners, this is not sponsored. This is something that I enjoy watching on the YouTube. And I'm telling people about it. So my husband turned me on to this, so I'm turning it on to you. It's called Drawfee, Drawfee. It's a group of 4 like cool people who used to be at College Humor before they were all fired. And they have a drawing show where they do a weekly, like twice a week, they do a quirky little challenge of like use this bone to draw. And they're just silly and fun and huge allies. They do a stream every year for trans rights. They do there's a game where you drive a rig around the country. So they do that for like 3 or 4 hours and just talk silly, and people donate money while they're streaming it. It's just funny. Like they are a good group. I highly suggest them. And dear listeners, with the way the world is today, it is good to get your mind off of shit. We kind of started watching during the pandemic. And it was a release from everything. So as a release from everything right now, I highly suggest watching it.
I like that idea.
It just, and girl, speaking of something you can just watch while you're sewing, some of they put their streams out there too. They're 3.5 hours long, and they are mindless and funny.
Nice.
Yeah. Like they are. Yeah, I highly suggest it. Again, it's Drawfee, Drawfee. You could comment to them and say Mims and Maim sent you, but they won't know who the hell we are. Because this is, again, not sponsored. This is just something that the Divine Miss Mims thoroughly enjoy. And if any of you are artists out there or trying to get into drawing, they do online classes like that are free out there underneath their thing. So yeah, I just highly suggest it.
I love it. I just found the website while we were talking. I'm very into it.
Yeah. I've been meaning to do that. I'm sorry I haven't done that before, but like it's just something that I've been thinking about, and like, dear listeners, we all need to have a way to relax. And there's only so many episodes that we've gone through of this. Let me give you another media to where you can just sit there and like daze out and turn it on. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, girl.
Days out.
Yeah. I girl, turn on one of their long stream stay and just sew to your heart's content.
Yeah, it looks like you're. I mean, it's so funny. I never thought about that. Like, especially like live streams, like or like recorded streams. Like, how great would that be to sew to those? Because they just go for a while.
Yeah, the other thing you could turn on is, since there's now 8 seasons of it, 9 or maybe even more, you can just turn on from the beginning and just let that go all the way through.
Oh, that's true. That would be also good to do.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. No, that's actually good.
Can get a little bit distracting because, when Kati gets on a roll.
She literally is a comedic genius.
She is. I don't
like one day when we get to the place where like the world recognizes like online stuff with this much respect, this thing, I really want them to get like the flowers, because they are,
girl,
like, not just like drag. No, I'm just saying, like, not just drag, like just mainstream. Like they are,
girl, they are mainstream.
Oh, they're considered mainstream now?
Not for our generation, but millennials and young millennials and Gen Z, they're mainstream.
Yeah, but like I would live in like 20 years for them to get like the Mark Twain prize. I mean, like that. Like I would, because honestly, I watch some of their things and I think about. Don't do that. I'm being serious right now.
Why you got to bring Hal Holbrook back into this? I thought he was dead twice.
That's the highest prize a person can get for comedic humor
in America.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just love, it's just because I just do. I like some of these people. I'm not gonna say all of the queens from Drag Race because some of them are not as funny, but they are all, it's like always, like the things they do, but like some of the insights they even do sometimes are just, this is great. I love it. So, all right, that's enough of that soapbox. So, you ready to get into this?
No, we're still doing banter to begin with. What are you talking about?
Okay.
Speaking of banter, Maim, did you know we have Patreon? Dear listeners, go to patreon.com. Mims and Maim, you can throw us some money. Hey, Maim, did you know that we have another podcast? Oh, I can just tell this myself if you want me to. That's right. We have Baking Sugar and Designing Wood podcast and Over the Moon, our moonlighting podcast. No, we're good too. Hey, Maim, and we may even be bringing back the Ally McBeal. I may have a way. 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 I may not have a way, but I may have a way.
I hope so.
Hey, Maim.
Yeah.
Maim.
Yeah.
Did you know we have merchandise?
What?
That's right. If you go to mimsmaim.com, you can buy something. Hey, Maim.
Yeah.
Maim. Do you know what I love?
Yeah. You love a good 5-star review.
I do. Dear listeners, it really helps us. So if you like this episode, if you like Drawfee, if you like anything, leave us a 5-star review. If you don't
like anything, leave us a 5-star
if you like wine, pina coladas,
getting caught in the rain.
Yeah. All those things just sound like mild inconveniences, except for the pina coladas. Oh, God, this is season 4, episode 16, Murder.
Oh, my God.
Through the Looking Glass. So, girl, we're at a pier.
Pier 1?
Nah, girl, that one out of business.
Lord.
And there's
those things that apparently the things that happened at Pier 1 should.
What happened at Pier 1?
Murder.
Really? Oh, was
the one we just?
I'm
referencing the episode. Weirdo.
Oh, it wasn't Pier 1.
I hate when you crap on my jokes like that.
I know. That's why you're not going to win the Mark Twain Award, but I am.
Oh, you will.
Yes, I would be the first. Me, Mims, the first drag queen to win the Mark Twain Award.
Yeah, and then they'll say, sorry, I'm sorry, ma'am. We thought you were going to come dressed as Mark Twain, and you're not. So we're rescinding it.
Well, you obviously haven't seen my drag. It looks a little bit the same.
Except you don't have to wear a fake white beard now.
That's true. What did you think of the lip syncs this week?
I mean, I didn't hate them. What do you mean?
I wish Georges nearly won if she wasn't smiling. If she just didn't smile, she would have won.
Okay, but see, here's the thing, right? My problem.
Oh, that this is rigged for Roxy? Is that your problem? Is that your problem with this season?
Right? I said that day, the very first episode. I was like, oh, this is the Roxy Andrews redemption arc, right? Which, once again, it's not like she's been like terrible. She's been great. I know that you don't like her makeup, but she has been doing really well. But my problem is that
she has not.
You don't think so?
That stupid lisp thing she did.
No, that was like her one terrible thing. But that was like she was trying to like. Her other characters were pretty funny in the acting challenges. That was not good. But she
did that twice. Funny. That same character twice, girl. Twice, not one episode, 2 episodes.
Because she was trying to redeem the character. She was trying.
Get on with you. This is Plastique and Angeria's show, and I don't know why you're talking this nonsense. Go on.
Well, I don't want her to win. I'm just saying, like, whatever. Anyway, but the thing is that the couple of times, right, for both her and Angeria, when Angeria did her second number, they were like, it was almost like they were performing like kind of autopilot-y, like you could see it, like they didn't seem as into the songs and everything else. So then they just performed on autopilot. The what's it, the first song, the hero or whatever, I Need a Hero.
Yeah.
Like Roxy was like, I mean, obviously she had reasons to be emotional, but like she was emoting. And technically, that's kind of an issue with a lot of modern drag queens. Is like they don't actually know how to emote along with the song. So if it's a dance song, they're just going to dance. They're not paying attention to the emotion or the lyrics.
I think Vanjie would have beaten Chanel had Vanjie been allowed to change outfits. Her outfit was too distracting for what she was wearing, and like.
Yeah,
I watched oh god, what's the Trixie thing that goes the after one that Trixie hosts, the
pit stop,
thank you. And she had your drag queen on, oh god, BBL,
my drag queen,
Miami BBL.
Oh, Morphine,
yeah. She had her on, and Morphine had a point about Plastique. She only learns the first 10 seconds of the song and then just lets it go. That is why she hasn't won anything. I'm like, you know what?
Oh.
You have a point. She's like, you got to learn the whole song if you want to be a lip syncer.
But the thing that's so strange about that, because I mean, obviously, I've never actually. I think she's only been here once. But I didn't actually see her. That's so strange considering that she was in like Drag Race Live as much as she was. You would think that she would be more conscious of something like that. But yeah, I didn't put that together too. But yeah, that's basically what she does.
Yeah, I mean,
one episode where she didn't even try the rap.
Yeah. Oh, and that's why Angeria lost, because she didn't know the rap.
No, she didn't.
Yeah. So there's 2 old white men and one of the men shot.
Oh no, not old white man.
Yeah.
Oh. There goes our GDP again.
Readjust. Oh, Lordy. Girl, look, I got a binder around my belly.
Belly binder, honey.
Belly binder. Not to be confused with Billy Baldwin that nobody's thought about in years. Oh, where is Billy Baldwin? Did he die?
None of the Baldwins have died yet.
Oh, okay. I mean,
yeah.
One almost went to jail.
Yeah. I still don't understand. I mean, you always have a better perspective. I still don't understand how that even went that far because I thought it was an accident. Like, I thought the stuff that happened on that set was an accident.
I mean, that's what manslaughter is. Manslaughter is accidental death.
Oh.
But like with cause, like you did not know there was a live bullet in there. However, you did still point the gun at the person and shoot.
Right.
You may not have meant to cause death, but you were acting in an unsafe manner that caused somebody's death, right? Because you should not, if you knew it was loaded, even with blanks at that range, you should not be doing that. Like you violated rules that caused somebody's death.
Okay.
But the shit that came out that the prosecutor like tampered with evidence and really fucked up, like, yeah, there's no way that Alec was going to jail, and the other person's probably gonna get out too.
Yeah, it was just, yeah, I'm glad you said it because I mean, when it first happened, I followed it a little bit, but then when it went to the trial, I lost track of the narrative. Yeah. Then when it went to trial, I was like, wait a minute, I thought this was like a, what's his name, like the Brandon Lee thing, right? I was like, I thought this was like just a set accident. What's happening here?
No, this was supposedly a lot more. He was joking around with the gun and was like firing it jokingly at the time, but it was loaded with a live round.
Good Lord.
And like, that's a safety thing. The safety thing is a live round, but he was not supposed to be joking around and practicing with the gun.
Right. You should never do that with a gun.
Right.
Ever,
even with blanks, it was violating their on-set safety rules. Right. Yeah. So there you
go. Well, Alec Baldwin, you live to slay another day. Oh, I should not have said that. I was not even I was thinking Drag Race still. So let's move on.
Jesus. I can erase that, or I could just leave that in. We're at a Hartford hotel where JB's speaking.
And very popular, by the way.
She is. But we go back to the car, and the killer from the previous like scene is driving radically. He's sweating a lot, and he's like getting like tight. It's all tight around here. It's tight.
It's your binder. Is that your binder again?
Yeah, my binder's down here, girl. You want to see it? Let me lift it up. Can you see my binder? Hold on. Let me.
No, I can't.
There we go.
Oh, okay. Come on, Annie.
it's sexy. It's so sexy. Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna. I searched it before. It's like, yeah, you've got a patch down there that you have a patch down there. Keep it on for 2 weeks. I'm gonna give you an innie again. I'm like, thank God. Dear listeners, I had a umbilical hernia surgery. Luckily, it was a nothing burger. Not as bad as whatever the woman in the post-op that came next to me had. She was wailing. But then again, who knows? I could have been wailing too before I woke up. Right? Like, and literally, girl, have you ever had surgery before? Like major surgery?
Not major surgery.
Okay. No. When you're there, they're like, before you go under, they're like, when you come up, there's going to be a nurse there, and the first thing she's going to ask, and she's just going to repetitively ask, what's your pain level 1 to 10? What's your pain level 1 to 10? What's your pain level 1 to 10? So I woke up, so I was like, yep, it's what's your pain level 1 to 10? What's your pain level 1 to 10? Like, I don't know. 7. It's a 7. It's a 7 or 8. Oh, that's painful. She's like, okay. And what they do is they blow you full of, for this, because laparoscopic, they blow you full of gas. So that's really the pain that you're feeling right then, is because it's in that interstitial space between the lining over your organs and the skin. So there's gas there. So it's just pressure.
Gas pain is something, it's terrible.
Girl, I was really under pressure coming down.
Were you pressed, honey? Were you pressed?
Girl, I'm cinched right now. Let me tell you.
Oh my God, pressed followed by cinched? Yes. Yes, queen, slay.
Thanks, Alec. There's a car crash in front of JB. He can't breathe. It's the killer, and he asks for a priest. And he admits he's like, Father, and JB looks around, it's like, all right, whatever. He admits that he killed.
He's like, I need to wax my mustache.
He admits that he killed Carl Cosgrove tonight from Farmington. Killed Carl Cosgrove, girl. And I don't know if you know that, but that is something that Catholics can do if they give a last confession to anyone. Like if they are truly penitent at the moment of death, that's considered a true confession. So their soul can go forward.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have outs for everything. We create all these rules, and there's like out. Yep.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And there's a priest. She did find a priest.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if it was a young priest, an old priest, whatever, but there was a priest there.
That's nice that there was a priest on site.
Isn't it though? It's eerily convenient, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like strangely convenient.
Strangely convenient, isn't it? Oh, we're recording. So we're at the police department. Girl, my butt's wet and it's sliding on this chair. I'm in a like a stiffer chair than I normally sit in because I can't sink down too much. It's a strain on my hernia, living with a hernia. The Weird Al for you there.
Was that how that song went?
Yeah, living with a hernia.
Oh my god, I forgot about that one.
It's not good. Anyway, we're at the police department.
Jeez Louise.
And we meet Sergeant Cooper, who's trying to find his wife. Like he's calling people, trying to find his wife, does not know where she went.
Very disturbing intro with the police officer.
Yeah. JB's here to see him. She made a report about the guy, and they're having a little bit back and forth about the person. So they call Mrs. Cosgrove, and she's like, well, my husband is sleeping upstairs, so I don't know what you're talking about.
She's all like, what?
Yeah, and she has hair. Lots.
Hair conditioner.
There you go. Leave-in hair. Yeah.
I love that song.
God, those babies' hairs were looking like a blessing.
Yes, honey. Yes. Laid out, girl. Laid out.
Well, Mr. Cosgrove cannot come to the phone because he's lying in bed after having an asthma attack.
Oh.
A thing that luckily I don't have.
It's not fun. Asthma's not fun.
You know what else isn't fun? That previous episode of Baking Sugar. Of
the episode that we made was
that
fun.
episode was true. That's true. Sorry. Designing Women. That episode, Designing Women, was not fun, but
yes, very, very different there.
Very different. I'm sorry, dear listeners. I'm tired. I'm not on any drugs. I probably should be, though, shouldn't I?
You probably should be. It's not even been a week yet.
What are you talking about? I don't even feel pain.
But still,
what?
You don't know. It could happen at any moment, right?
No. That's not how this works. Okay. That's not how any of this works. That's how people
that's how my pain works, girl.
That's how people get addicted to pain pills, girl.
I didn't mean for you to take something strong. I just meant anything. Like,
girl, I was for the first 3 days I was on Tylenol and ibuprofen, rotating around.
Okay.
And then I got off the Tylenol because I wanted to have a drink last night. So I was off the Tylenol last night and off the Advil both by last night. And today I don't even have any pain.
Okay, well, then there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so the cop is like, he's just in bed, asthma attack. And JB's like, whatever. This man said he killed him. Head and heart, which is how apparently assassins do it. Head and heart. So JB's annoyed and leaves. So JB drives over to the Cosgroves. Yes, ma'am. You were going to say something?
Nothing.
Okay, good. Good. And as she's walking in, there's a video feed that goes in front of a bunch of people. Like an old man, a young man, and a younger man.
I've seen that movie. Not pleasant.
God, it's always the older man that gets to be the top, and it's never... It's not what you want.
No, they have a series of movies now. There's a new company that's got that reversed now.
Oh, Emmanuel?
No, it's called Twink Top, I think it's called.
God damn it. Of course
it's basically it's literally like what you just said. It's the polar opposite of what usually happens in that industry.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I know. The reason... So there's a person here I'm friends with that is basically like I guess like porn star manager. But like his stable,
they're called pimps.
Okay, well his stable are the twinks. And so on Facebook they're always talking about like, their upcoming stuff. That's how I, found out about it. But it's also like, yeah. He himself is a former twink. He's a little older now, but he's still got that, he's just slightly thicker than twink. He's not twunk yet, but he's a little bit thicker.
How a little bit older? How old's a little bit older?
Maybe like 5 years older. Like he's like pushing like close to 30. What? That's a very regulated reggrouping, honey. You know that.
I know. So he's getting ready to be an otter. He's getting ready to go.
Yeah.
Or he's
gonna be an otter. He ain't got nobody here.
It's been lasered off.
Yeah.
Just flies right down that slip and slide.
I won't lie. He's hilarious. Like honestly, he's funny in real life too. But he's very he documents everything. So. So like when he went to get his what do you call it, the freeze therapy stuff, he did that. When he got his butt injections, like all of it is on Facebook, so people are just like watching his constant journey, and it's a hoot because he always provides his commentary. It's just, yes honey, yes, oh yeah, I'm getting snatched, girl. I mean like holding the camera, holding
Jesus
the phone
Christ.
While they're doing the cryotherapy and the fat freeze. Like, I literally love it, but some people they're like, you put too much online. I'm like, no, please put it all because this is hilarious.
Got a question for you. Is that popsicle place still downtown? It's still in Wilton.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Just make sure the guy place.
Now there's a new place since you've been last. They opened another ice creamy place there, and there's a Mexican popsicle place now in Oakland Park. So. Yeah, what do they call it? Paletas?
Yeah,
or I think they're called paletas.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to go back to that one because that guy who won't be there this time was very cute. He's probably moved on to bigger, better bear daddies. I don't know.
He's probably still there.
You never know. How will we ever find out, girl?
Wilton doesn't have a lot of. When it comes to the people that work in Wilton, they don't have a lot of like rollover. Like most of those people, when they get the jobs there, they're there.
They're like, I'm here forever because if I leave,
yeah.
Well, JB and Mrs. Cosgrove talk, and she introduces him to Carl, and just like Leo DiCaprio, he is the man in the iron mask. But no, seriously, he's sitting there with like a oxygen mask on and lying in bed. And there's men watching from a two-way mirror. And JB kind of glances over and realizes two-way mirror. I don't know how she realizes it, but she does.
Because it's JB Fletcher, bitch. She knows everything. Come on now.
Well, she leaves and we find out Mr. Cosgrove is Signora Delgato. And he wants to return to DC immediately.
Okay, Delgado.
Mm-hmm. I love his shoes. I don't know if it just seemed like a thing to say.
It sounds like a thing.
I love Delgado's shoes.
It does sound like a thing.
Girl, did you hear Pamela Anderson is getting ready to have her redemption?
Really?
She's going to be in the new Naked Gun with Liam Neeson. I know. I was not looking forward to it. Now I am, because if she is in the Priscilla Presley role, and I want her to be a Priscilla Presley, not the like. Oh. Yeah.
That makes me so excited.
Yes. I've got a question for you. Just a little side question. Did you like Avatar: The Last Airbender? Did you ever watch Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Well, there's the animated one.
The animated
Netflix one that they did.
Okay, let's start with that. Did you watch the animated one?
Yes.
Did you like the animated one?
And I did.
Okay. Did you watch the new Netflix one?
No.
Okay. There is I will send it to you on YouTube. There is a 3.5 hour long takedown of why it's so bad on YouTube from this dude. He seems like a YouTuber you would probably watch. He sits there with his white mic like this. Bad Joel, I think his name is. And like he just talks the entire time. And like they ruined Katara. They ruined Boomy. It is unforgivable what they do in this thing. Like I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. I love that animated series. Like it is. I didn't watch till later on in life, but I love it. Love it.
I've now come to the conclusion, and this is my new thing. I just don't watch the Netflix ones.
No,
like for anyone they've been doing, because when they did Cowboy, because you know how I feel about Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, Cowboy Bebop's fantastic.
Right? I saw the visuals. I was like, oh, this might be amazing. I got like 10 minutes in, and I was just so upset. I was like, this is...
Why does it start like that?
So ever since then, I'm like, no, because I say, I don't know who's in charge here, but you guys don't get the source material. You don't understand it. And I know that people have been like, they like the what's it called? The pirate one. I know people liked it, but I'm just gonna.
Oh, One Piece.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I've never even watched One Piece.
I'll just watch One Piece again, right? I'll just watch One Piece again. I'd rather just do that.
Girl, again, you got finished with it because it's on like an episode past 100 now.
Boo boo. When I say watch One Piece again, I mean pick right back up again, because I give that thing a break after about 50 episodes again, and then I'll hop back on that train.
I've never. It's so ugly. My anime choice. I can't watch anything that ugly. I just can't. Like, it's so. Jujutsu Kaisen is right there on the edge for me. Like, it's not.
There's something about One Piece that like I had the same feeling, but because everything about it is just so chaotic, that's the only reason why I'm just like, you know what? This completely matches the tone of everything else about this show.
A thing about Drawfee that I think you'll like. They love Delicious in Dungeon. Like, they love it. They love, yeah. Where are we at here?
I know it wasn't your favorite. For me, in category of anime, right? Like, it's just charming to me.
We may give another chance. It really was how they handled the female character, but we may try it again. We may. Well, we're at the hotel and we find out that Father Francis was looking for JB. This is the priest that she met up earlier, and he's at St. Jerome's right down the street.
Oh yeah,
and we all know Jerome.
We do. Hey, I know Jerome, girl.
You're related to Jerome.
Back. I got some Jeromes in my family.
I know you do.
It's true. That's like second cousin, though. They ain't like first.
Girl, I can say a name, black or white sounding, and you have them in your family.
Yes, you're right.
Brian. Tiffany.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't think we have any Tiffany's in our family. I don't think we do, actually.
Girl, your family is very big.
That's true. We could have them. I don't even know all of them. I literally
as Big Sister Maim. Big Sister Maim just got this in through the gay-fi and has texted you. You don't remember cousin Tiffany?
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, like I just met like my San Francisco family like last year. Like I didn't even, I had never met. I think they met me when I was very like a babyish kind of age, but I haven't seen them in all of that.
It's so weird. It's so weird that you would meet them, to me.
They came for a visit.
But it's still so weird that you would see them, to me. Right? Because
Why?
Because you haven't seen them since you were a child, since you were a baby.
But that's not a thing to me, right?
Yeah.
I mean, remember, you have to keep in mind, right, that when you think about like the family that you know, right, because we're all around the same age, that's the only family I know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really know any of like outside of Statesville.
Yeah.
I don't know that much about almost any other parts of my family.
Yeah. And my thing is,
so it was just more intriguing to me.
Okay. Because I guess that's the difference between us, because I don't care. Like, if somebody from my family would like, hey, I met you once when you were Babbity, I'd love to see you. No. Like, okay. We'll talk about that at a future date. Because I don't care. Like it's literally I'm fulfilled. I don't need this. Why do I need more people? I'm good. I'm good.
I get that.
I'm good, and most of them would be probably from my father's side, and they're all trash. And I know most of my mother's side of the family. Oh no, a lot of them are. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, that's the other thing, right? Like, it was almost everybody on my mom's side is pretty great. So
that's true. That's true. That's true. So we're at the church, and JB and Father Francis talk. He asks about the confession, and he asks about Cosgrove, and another priest comes up and asks if that father needs anything. And he walks away. He's like, that's Father Sweeney. His eyesight's not that good. There's a phone call for JB, and she goes back into the room and notices that the father's name's not Sweeney. And it's Sergeant Cooper, and apparently a body's been pulled out of the Connecticut River Girl with shots to the heart and the head.
Just like that guy said.
Just like JB said. Just like JB. Oh, or just like the killer said. Yes, you're right. You're right. Yes, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
I like that you say you're right, like you're trying to convince yourself that I'm right while you're still saying that you're right. It's like your mouth says something your brain doesn't believe, so you just keep saying it and hoping that like eventually it's gonna click that wait, it is actually right. And so goes our relationship for the last 30 plus years.
Look, there are times when I think you're right. Is it about fashion? It's fashion.
No.
It's fashion. It's fashion. It's fashion. It's fashion. But is it fashion? It's fashion. Dear listeners, if you ever want to cackle, find the episode where Bob the drag queen just like destroyed Peppermint for 30 seconds. It is gold. But is it fashion? It's fashion. So we're at the police, and JB tells the police, the sergeant, that she went to go meet Mr. Cosgrove, but he was lying in bed. And one fact, that the license, the driver's license, said Carl Cosgrove on it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So we're back at the house, and the sergeant goes through the gate, and he's like, "Hey, let me in." So the Cosgrove's left, and but the brother is there. This is the black-haired dude. We don't have names yet of these people.
Nope.
Just Mrs. Cosgrove, and this is not oldest, not youngest. This is medium dude. And the old man comes out, and we find out that this is a DSS safe house. There's a little bit of guns blaring for a second, like, and you aren't going anywhere, you aren't going anywhere, you aren't, like, and this is a DSS safe house, and he doesn't want, the old dude's now in charge, and he doesn't want this turned into a novel. Cosgrove is a fake name that they use as an alias, a la Jennifer Garner.
Okay.
Yeah, girl.
Capital One.
The Whiggery from Alias was always so good. I love those wigs, even when they were the cheapest ones. Oh, they're so good.
Still good.
Still good. I could rewatch the first season of that. No, after you get the first 2 seasons are pretty good. Then it gets a little. That's when Bradley Cooper was actually attractive to me.
Oh.
Girl, speaking of attractive to you, did you see what I sent you my way by Toad? No. Oh, girl, I need you to look at your Facebook messengers, your Facebook message right now, and we're just gonna give you a second to enjoy this. I believe it is me sending you this saying the one, because it reminded me of the one.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
Turn the volume up.
There you go. Dear listeners, we won't make you listen to a lot of this, but just for a second, just to.
I'm so scared.
There you go. Oh God, it's
I gotta go to the end.
Oh God, yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome, Maim. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
My way. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Just,
I think I just did that no better than he did.
Much less vibrato. Much less.
Well, the sergeant shows the woman the picture and says, "Do you recognize him?" Like, this is a picture of the body. Because it's her. Everybody's in old guy, woman, young guy, and medium guy are all there right now. And ask if he recognizes him, and she blows up. She's like, "Adams is dead."
She's real upset. Like, she's suspiciously upset.
And Adams, we found out, was the chief of this here operation. Well, so Sergeant and JB leave, and it's outside, and we find out when medium guy talks to woman that Adams and her were in love.
Come on now, lovebirds. Little love turds.
Little love turds. Little love turds.
Love turdies, Danny. Yes. Come on now.
I was in pain whenever I wrote this because it's a little disjointed. I rewatched this when I was, not fully in my right mind. So
I look forward to these notes.
I've been trying to pull it together this whole time.
I too was in pain when I watched it the third time. I too was in pain. because for the life of me, I tried. I was like, do I know how this went before we record? And I was like, I've forgotten some of the details. I'm gonna have to rewatch it again. And then as it started, I was like, oh no.
Well, the old man is now in charge.
You know what? Have we forgotten to point out that old homosexual Mr. Brady
is that who that is?
Yes.
Oh,
honey, that is Mr. Brady in his full permed fabulousness, because he doesn't have to do Brady Bunch no more. So honey, he is out there getting plowed on the regular.
Robert Reed. What'd he die of?
You know what he died of, girl. Girl.
Are you sure that's him?
Yes, girl.
Hold on here. Season 4, episode 16. What is this called? This is Murder, She Wrote. Murder Through the Looking Glass. We got cast. Clifton Young. Sergeant Cooper was Spock's brother in Star Trek 5.
I don't think I ever saw 5.
Oh, it's not good. And you're right, that is in fact him.
That old homosexual. See, we should have done this episode in June, honey, for Pride Month. Celebrating the life and legacy of that Lothario Robert Reed, honey.
Did he die of HIV?
Mm-hmm.
Are we sure?
I'm pretty 100% sure about that. The thing, I'm pretty.
I mean, it was the time.
Oh, but what did they used to say back then? AIDS related.
So he did okay. It's he had HIV. He did not go fully AIDS, but he did get cancer from the HIV.
Okay.
In 91.
Well, honey, back then, even if it was the HIV, they would just say,
"Yeah, I know. Yes, we lucked up, and we lucked up at a better time. It was real. I was talking to somebody who worked for Glaxo, when AZT
back then,
when AZT was like found to work. And he was like, it was. He's like, people were in the labs crying, like when the clinical trials came out, that they were actually going to be able to save people's lives from this.
I mean, it's like a thing where you have to think to yourself, I would love, man, I wish you could get that, like a recording of him talking about that, because that is a pretty profound moment in history.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
And I mean, it didn't. Like, it became a drug cocktail that eventually, worked much better. But yeah, the beginning,
but still anything.
Exactly. Anything.
Right? Anything.
Now these hoes back out there getting hoed.
There's some hoes in these streets. I
bet you your asshole tastes delicious. Never gonna forget it. That
was the one guarantee I knew watching that episode. I knew that more than anything else. As soon as I saw that list, I looked at Injury and I said, "Oh, I know it's thought she goes to." Got Mick, girl, you done messed up, honey. You done messed up.
Girl, who would you have picked to start with if you were Got Mick?
If I were Got Mick, I would have picked Chanel.
I would have picked Chanel. I may have even picked Georges, because again, Georges, fantastic dancer. No, because When I Grow Up is still on there.
That's why I would have picked because the thing is the songs that I know Chanel would have picked are things that I know Gottmik could have done. But to know what Angeli would pick?
Girl, you know what? We're both wrong. It's Nina.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
When she said, I like that outfit about Nina, I was like, oh, that is the coldest burn I think I've ever heard.
It's funny, like how I realize there's some editing involved in all of that, but it's kind of weird to watch kind of this weird switcheroo between Nina and Roxy. Like, Roxy is like kind of warmer, more supportive, more things like that behind the scenes. And Nina's been a little bit more like kind of colder.
Nina's always been cold. Like, go back and watch
but they didn't, but they've had it more on like confessional this time. Like, they didn't have her being as nasty in confessionals as they have this time around. Like,
fair.
She's been, she's every episode, it's like getting worse. I mean, obviously she's bitter about not doing better, but like every episode, I'm like, girl, remember that image you got to uphold after this episode is over, because you more than any of these other girls have a image in the public.
So we're back at the hotel, and JB comes in the room. She kicks off her stilettos.
Yeah,
she's not wearing kitten heels. She's wearing stilettos.
No, she's not, honey. Not JB Fletcher. She don't wear no kitten heels.
And there's a Mr. Beer sitting on the counter. That's what the label says, girl. Mr. Beer.
What? There should really be a beer called that.
There should be. Well, it's the priest.
What?
Yes. And he disconnects the phone so JB cannot call out, and we find out he's internal affairs at DSS. And so JB's like, fine, let's go for a walk and let's talk. We find out that Adams called internal affairs because there's a mole in there.
Oh,
we've got some names now. Jackson is the old man. Van Buren has the black hair. Pierce is the blonde dude. And Ellen Cosgrove is Ellen Cosgrove. It's like you just picture with the martini glass and that hair with Ellen Cosgrove as Ellen Cosgrove.
Cheers.
We find out that Delgado is a random Latin American, deposed leader. And Sanchez is his like bodyguard / get all. And we find out that the money that the U.S. was given to this Latin leader may have been siphoned off and sent to a Swiss army, something, whatever.
Sounds on brand.
Yeah. Well, Adams met with the informant and like alone, and he wore a sending device, which just makes a little red light beep. He drove away, like the friar was behind him in the car, and they drove away, and suddenly the device stopped sending. And he went back, he looked, he couldn't find him, so he drove in the city. That's how he happened to be there. He told the guy, and he asked JB to go in undercover to find some stuff out. She says no. It's a little bit later, and the secretary of something calls JB and it's like, hey, will you do this? And she's like, fine. So we're in the car. JB's getting ready to go in as a mole. And Francis gives her a tracker in a lipstick that's her shade. And she just has to turn it one way, and it'll come on, and they'll surround the house.
That's what happens when you turn it on too.
Hi, girl. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. They're like, So, bet your asshole's delicious.
Did you smell that? Oh, it's Mims. Mims turned it on. Let's go. Okay. Let's go, girl.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's IBS. Girl, that's the next big thing I have to have. And girl, you get to have one too next year.
Oh my God.
It's time for our colonoscopies. 45, girl, 45. That's what
wow, it's true. It's time, isn't it?
Girl, I could even hold.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's right. You get to have yours in January. I get to have mine in April.
Oh my God, mazel tov.
Mazel. We've made it to colon cancer. Get those polyps taken out.
I'm going to call my doctor and be like, I want you to recommend for me the best.
Girl,
who has the smoothest hoses?
Do you have acid reflux too?
Yeah.
Girl, then you might as well get an endoscopy too. Just have them go both ways. They'll do that.
I've had that already before.
The girl, get back closer to the mic. Get closer to the mic.
Sorry. Yeah, I've had that before.
Have you? Okay. I've never had an endo.
Mm-hmm. They did one emergency wise because something was happening in my body, and it was like I don't think I ever told you that. I think I was maybe 27.
Okay.
And it felt like I was being stabbed, literally stabbed. And over like a course of 3 days or something like that. And when they finally told me they're like, you're gonna have to have this done because like there's no other, it's not food, it's not anything. So what ended up happening was apparently I have such severe acid reflux that it got into acid got into my gallbladder, and that's what was causing the stabbing pain. And so they gave me this stuff to take for like 2 months. So like, I guess it gives my stomach time to heal because the lining of my stomach was, the stomach lining of my body was also burned. Like there was acid burn on my stomach lining. So, but that's why when we joke about the acid reflux stuff, I'm like, I can't not take my medication because it's like, it's that severe. So mine is so bad that I know if I forgot to take it within 24 hours. So go figure, right? Add yet another thing, to my long list of accolades.
So we're at the house now.
Yes.
And we found out Ellen is staying. Previously, Jackson was like, well, you were in love, you're leaving. But she's like, nah, I'm staying. JB's here. Her name's on the list. Apparently now. And JB says she wants to write about the safe house to Jackson.
Oh.
And how much of a crazy I was in, I spelt right, R-I-G-H-T.
Girl, you were.
Yeah. We found out Van Buren traded with Pierce to watching Delgado. Okay. The sergeant shows up, and we found out Adams had a huge rap sheet. Not a demo disc, just a rap sheet. Nothing.
I could have been something. I could have been a contender.
Well, it's upstairs. Sanchez is taking Delgado his food, and Delgado's dead and Pierce is asleep.
Whoa, no. Delgado's dead.
Yeah, JB activates the beeper because she's like, oh, shit.
You had to call Life Alert.
Have you watched Thelma yet?
No.
Girl, it's now been 2-3 weeks.
It's been 2.
What do you do down there?
You mean all between the hosting and the sewing and all of the other stuff?
Girl, there comes a point you're going to have to recycle your looks. You're going to have to, huh?
Yeah, but I can't. But I have to put. Not for my like bigger hosting things. I recycle looks for my Thursday night gigs.
I don't believe,
but
you.
Like, I do. I really do. I don't wear the same stuff all the time. But I am in the middle of like sewing like my summer shorts right now. So like that's what I'm doing. That's what I've been occupied with. What?
Nothing. It makes sense. I'm sorry I'm giving you a hard time. It's later on. Cooper calls for backup. And we find out Pierce was sleeping. He was on probation previously for sleeping at night, watching him. So he switched the day so he wouldn't fall asleep, but he drank a whole thermos of black coffee and but he still fell asleep for some reason.
Huh.
Pierce didn't see anyone enter the room, but of course he didn't. He was asleep. JB goes over to Sanchez, who's being held as the primary suspect in this. And she's like, "Hey, did you do this? Why, what about him siphoning money?" And Sanchez gets irate. So they take Sanchez away, and JB's like, "I'm convinced this all links back to Adams' murder." So JB goes and talks to Ellen, and she figures it all out. This all happens very quickly at the end. We have all of this stuff, and then we got it.
Yeah, they spent a lot of internal infighting kind of time on this episode.
So JB's in the bedroom, if you know what I mean. Yeah, Van Buren enters, if you know what I mean, which is hilarious because Van Buren was probably a gay president. JB prods him, if you know what I mean. And she says that somebody got money for killing Adams and Delgado. And she also mentioned something that I didn't mention previously, that Van Buren mentioned that Adams went alone to meet a stranger in a parking lot. And the only people that knew that were Francis and Adams. No one else. And she said that you switched with Pierce, drugged him, and killed Delgado. Well, it's later on at the police, and the sergeant's wife finally calls. Hey, Maim.
Yes.
Did you enjoy this episode?
It was silly. I mean, it was just it wasn't terrible, but it was definitely it was on the sillier side.
I could not have watched this thing 3 times like you. I would have. That is too much. Well, it was good the first 2 times, but no, my God, a third time.
No, but the third time I was kind of okay, because then I realized. But the third time, I was like, this is a very convoluted episode.
It is
for a very simple conclusion. That's the part for me that was the worst.
The conclusion just sort of happens real fast. You're like, oh, did it really? Oh, all right.
Because even then I was honestly, and this is why I said that, the reason I watched it the third time is because for some reason in my head, I was like, why am I thinking that was the priest that did the murder? Right. Because that's how convoluted it was. I was like, was it the priest that did the murder? And then I was like, that's why I said, I got to watch it again. And then when I got to the end, I was like, oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Because it was just it was a very thrown together conclusion, I thought.
Yeah. Well, Maim, why don't you tell our dear listeners where they can find you?
Sure. Hello, dear listeners. It's I, Auntie Maim, your favorite relation. You can find me at the Kill Your Idol every Thursday night, hosting amazing colossal karaoke, doing some improv comedy with the Villain Theater, and various other hosting events down here in South Florida. You can find all that stuff out at I'mYourAuntieMaim.com. How about you, Mims?
Hey, y'all, I'm the Divinus Mims. You can find me online at thedivinusmims.com. Hey, Maim.
Yes?
Did you know that we have Patreon?
What?
That's right. If you go to patreon.com, Mims Maim, you can throw some money. Hey, Maim. Yes? Did you know we have another podcasts?
What?
That's right. We have Baking Sugar, our Designing Women podcast, and Over the Moon, our Moonlighting podcast. Hey, Maim.
Yes?
Did you know? Did we have merchandise? That's right. If you get MimsMaim.com, you can buy something. Hey, Maim.
Yes.
Do you know what I love?
5-star reviews.
That's right. Dear listeners, if you like us or anything, just leave us a 5-star review. Hey, Maim. Did you know our dear listeners can reach out to us?
Huh?
That's right. If you just go to MimsMaim.com, you can send us an email. Hey, Maim. Maim?
Yes.
Do you have anything else to add?
Yes.
You do?
I don't think so.
Then say goodnight, Maim.
What happened?
Say goodnight, Maim.
Goodnight, Maim.
Bye, y'all.